Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video for the Warships. And today we have a news related to the balance changes that Wargaming will be implementing in the upcoming update. Now they are currently testing these changes in the public test, so if you want to test them, you can always download the public test if you want to. But I would like to talk about these changes very quickly because there are quite a lot of changes. As you can see here, we have Tech 3, American cruisers, Soviet destroyers, and even Pan-American battleship that we are all looking forward to, like in terms of the nerf. Because yeah, they are right now very powerful battleship in this game. Too much powerful, in fact. So they are going to touch them is gonna be pretty interesting, to say the least. But anyways, we will talk about these changes. I would like to talk about them quickly, and then we will quickly get to the literally get to even the premium ships as well, because there are some changes to the premium ships, which would be interesting as well. But let's talk about the American Tech 3 cruisers quickly. So I have read the balance changes. So if I give you a TLDR for the American Tech 3 cruisers, what they have done with the cruisers, starting from the Helena all the way to Jacksonville, that they are going to make some of the main battery turrets that can now turn 360 degrees. As you can see here, 360 degrees, 360 degrees, 360 degrees, and even improving the firing angles of all main battery turrets. So they will be a lot much more comfortable to shoot target. Like, you will be staying a lot much more in a angled position, and you can still fire a lot of the main battery gun turrets, right? Which I would say is a good change, because my problem with the American Tech 3 light cruiser, especially at lower tiers, especially at Seattle, is that the firing angles were not good, at least in my opinion. But now they are going to make the turrets 360 degrees, which means they will quickly get from right to left, as well as also improving the firing angles, if I'm not wrong. Is an amazing change. Also, one more thing, that they are kind of nerfing the Jacksonville tier super cruiser main battery firing range again. I think Wargaming have kind of make the range too much. Now it's kind of very closer to that of Worcester. I mean, I think the Worcester had like 16.7, 16.8 kilometer. So the Worcester to Jacksonville main battery range is basically sort of negligible in terms of the upgrade. But anyways, these are all the good change. Like Cleveland getting to all 360 degrees, very nice. Honestly, some of the players do like Cleveland. Even I do like Cleveland. But now the third traverse is gonna be such that they will not have to worry about getting all the turn from one to other. Like, they take some time in terms of seconds. So that won't happen. They will just instantly turn, which is a good thing. They are also going to change the Soviet Tech 3 destroyers. Now, I will not talk about all of this stuff that they have written. I instead get to the very important thing. They are basically doing is they are going to come up with the heals at lower tiers. They're going to change some of the parameters of main battery smoke, as well as they are going to improve the turret traverse time speed. Okay? That's the changes that they are proposing. They're also going to improve the torpedo range, but also kinda nerfing the torpedo, because if they improve the range, then in terms of wargaming standards, they will be a lot much more powerful. The torpedoes might get too much powerful. That's what wargaming thinks, and that's what they have decided to do the changes, okay? I will simply go through the changes quickly because there are a lot of those changes, okay? At tier 2, range increase, turret traverse reduced, smoke parameters change. They are going to give the heal at tier 3, okay? That's one thing that you have to know. And also improving the range again. At tier 4, improving the range. They're also slightly increasing the reload time, as I said before. They increase the range, but they are sort of nerfing some of the other parameters for that increase in range, okay? But at least at tier 4, now you will have 6 kilometer torpedo range, which is nice. The turret traverse again getting improved. Repair party as well at tier 4. Now, it's a bit weird. Like, at lower tiers, I like smoke generator. At higher tiers, I would say repair party might be interesting for me. But at least you will have a choice between the two, even at lower tiers, is a nice thing regardless. Torpedo range, 4 to 6 kilometer. Torpedo alpha reduced, like 14.4 to 11k. Okay, that's definitely a big change for sure in terms of the damage of torpedoes. Speed reduce of the torpedoes. Detection of the torpedoes itself reduced. Again, stealthier torpedoes, slower torpedo reload time Wait, it's a speed reduced, but why 59 seconds? What? That must be a typo. That must be a typing error, bro. Bro, someone should just fix these things, man. It should be knots, not seconds, bro. But anyways, again, repair party, ranging increased. Now, Gnivny starting to have a 7-kilometer range. Alpha reducing, torpedo alpha reduced, speed reduced, but detection improved of the torpedoes. Same thing, repair party, smoke, 7-kilometer range, alpha reduced, the same thing. Ognemo, you can go and check out, if you want to know a specific parameter for a specific destroyer, you can always go and check out the devlog. That's not a big deal. But I would like to share the main and important aspects. Now at Ognevoy, you're going to have main battery improvement, 5 to 3.8 seconds, while you are going to get the range reduced. Now that is interesting. And I would say, I always usually take Ognevoy to be sort of a more of a torpedo-esque boat, even though the whole line does not feel like it. But Ognevoy always feel like to be having more strength in torpedo, but not having the strength of that of like the gunpowder. It never used to be like this, but now they are kind of making it such that it would literally align to all of the other Tech 3 destroyers for the Soviet line, which is nice. Again, the same thing, range reduced. For the Ognevoy, the speed increased. Okay, so the speed increased, which is nice. And they also obviously gonna improve the detection because their speed increased. So that is the change that they are doing with the Ognevoy. Kiev, improving the range like really nicely. Like Kiev getting 7-kilometer torpedoes now. They will be usable for sure, 100%. And that's basically it. The Tashkent, stock torpedoes removed. Okay. But what is the most important thing, that new researchable torpedoes with the following characteristics. So now you will have a better range, if I'm not wrong. 10-kilometer is going to be very usable for sure. So that's good. And then also they are going to have a researchable hull rudder shift time reduced to 5 seconds. Again, maneuverability is nice now. Delny, Zorki, only going to have some changes to smoke. That's pretty much it. Japanese cruisers, Miyoko, Mogami, and Ibuki. So they are going to do the changes to the Japanese cruisers, the Zhao line as well. So what they are doing is torpedo tube firing angles forward widened by 15 degrees. Now that is a good change. Again, if they have done the changes to the Zhao, now they are doing it with all the lower tier cruisers, is a very, very good change. I mean, torpedo firing angles were terrible for these Japanese cruisers. To be honest, they are so much painful to deal with. Like if you get spotted in the middle of nowhere, and you want to send the torpedoes, I mean, you cannot, because if you are staying broadside, you're gonna get punished significantly hard. But with this, you can just quickly send the torpedoes and can stay angled quickly, which is a very, very good thing. Oh my goodness, Pan-American battleships, Ipiranga. Oh my goodness, are they finally decided to change some of the parameters? Like, actually, is it real? Wargaming realized it. Boy, here we go. Fixed an issue where a researchable hull upper belt was thicker than that of stock hull. Should I really care about this issue? I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why Ipiranga getting Citadel. I'm exactly not sure why. But, I mean, I usually get these sort of situations where I able to Citadel Ipiranga with even destroyer caliber guns. I don't know. That happened with me. But even though it shouldn't be related to this thing, for sure, like the thing that I'm talking about. But anyways, if it was thicker than that of stock hull, so fixing it is still a good thing regardless. But that is not a nerf, right? Or maybe it's a nerf, I'm not sure exactly. But I would like to talk about the engine parameters now. The ship will retain enhanced acceleration parameters, but will no longer be able to sustain high speed during turns. So they are only gonna change the engine parameters? Really? I literally thought that if they touch the Ipiranga, Los Andes, and Libertad engine parameters, where they just completely remove the enhanced acceleration, then it might be a start of balance. But they are still gonna make them significantly sort of a Ferrari, like they will still accelerate like a monkey, and at least what they will do is no longer be able to have the high speed during turns. So it's not like your engine is so broken that you will still be having that insane speed at higher at higher speeds, right? You will lose the speed due to turns. That's what they're saying. But that's still gonna be enough for Ipiranga. I think Ipiranga was a lot better in terms of balance compared to Los Andes because they don't have access to 234mm guns. But now we will talk about Los Andes, and now they are actually making sense because they are nerfing the secondaries. 5 to 6.4 for 127, 11 to 14 for 234. Now that is a good thing. And they are also going to do the same thing as they have done with the Ipiranga. And Libertad only going to have the same thing as they are doing with the Los Andes and Ipiranga with the engine parameters. So they are not touching anything about the Libertad. Not sure is that gonna make Libertad a tad less powerful. It's still gonna be too powerful, in my opinion. I mean, they haven't changed any parameter of secondary. Like, they could have done something with the main battery. Like the Sigma parameters for this very obnoxious secondary battleship is too good. Like 1.7 Sigma is still pretty good. I thought that they might nerf the secondaries and they will nerf some of the Sigma value of the main battery, which they have not. Kind of weird. But that's what they have done with the Libertad. Interesting. So they're not changing it. I think we have to wait for 2 years to have that change, because it has taken them quite a lot of time before they touch some of the parameters, and even then these are not enough, in my opinion. Not at all. These are still going to be pretty powerful battleships regardless, and they haven't even touched the I would say the Colombo leg mod. Like, I thought that they might do some changes to the Colombo. Maybe they might do it later, but they haven't done in this devlog. But here comes the very interesting thing. Orion 44. This is a cruiser. This is a British cruiser that actually going to have a nerf in the main battery reload time. What? They're actually nerfing the premiums? Really? Oh my goodness. They're also nerfing the detection of the Orion 44. Now, I think that would be a bit too much, but still. 10.5 to 11 means it's roughly going to have 10 kilometer by sea detection. Now, I don't think so that's a good change because, again, I mean, if you have spent money on Orion 44, if you have spent real money, and you have this ship, and if you have this ship because of this really good reload time that it used to have, like, they have nerfed it very, very slightly, but still it's a nerf, and you haven't spent the money for that nerf for sure. So I don't think so it's a good change. Like, I know and I remember it used to happen with the carriers, with the premium carriers like Chakalov, the Bayern. I don't exactly remember a couple of other, like the Colossus. Those have gotten direct nerfed. Those premium ships have gotten nerfed, but there is never, I would say, an instance where they have nerfed something like a premium ships in general, like not the carriers, but the premium cruisers, battleship, or destroyers in general. But here we are. This is something now that you have to look out for if you are looking to buy a ship. Especially, they haven't done some changes to the higher tiers, and I fear if they do something like this at higher tiers, like for example, maybe for the Rhode Island, maybe for the La Pampa, maybe for the Hildebrand, it would be very interesting. They haven't touched those premiums because they are also kind of in a way ridiculous for sure. But anyways, we have to find out at some point eventually. London, improvement in the firing rate. Firing rate improved 15 to 14 seconds. Main battery range increased 13.4 to 14.5. Now that will be pretty comfortable. 13.4 was not bad at tier 6 to be honest, but now 14.5 would be very comfortable to be honest. Like really, for me it's at tier 6 it's like really, really good. Tier 8 Vanguard. Repair body replaced with specialized repair teams. Damn. So now they are basically giving a super heal at tier 8. Now that is a very nice thing. Like, you don't need to fear that much for the fires and floods, for example. Like, if you take so much fire damage, I think Vanguard can survive those, which is, I would say, a nice thing for sure. So giving a super heal to Vanguard is a good change. Leningrad. Torpedo reload booster consumable. Wow. Okay. Torpedo. Okay, that's basically another good thing. Now you can basically send some more torpedoes alongside with the torpedo. Like, I think you have 88 torpedoes, right? So after 8 seconds, once you click the torpedo reload booster, after 8 seconds you will have another set ready. Now that is a good change for sure for the Leningrad. Kremlin reverted previous changes that reduced A amount survivability. Wow. They nerfed the Kremlin and now they're buffing the Kremlin A again? Oh my goodness. Now Kremlin will get a huge value from it, especially against aircraft carriers. Like, for example, if there are so much HE spam, Kremlin literally takes crazy amount of AA damage. So much that you have less than 50% AA survivability, or I would say AA mounts to shoot on a carrier. Like your AA would be so bad that at some point after so much HE spam, you basically have almost zero AA mount survivability. Like almost zero AA mounts to fight against aircraft carrier. And the and the CV will just simply kills you like this. So after buffing the AA mount survivability, like all the other battleships in the game, like Slava for example, I think Kremlin might now be I'm not gonna say a very good AA platform, but still like way better than right now what it is. So at least Wargaming realized it, that how butchering that change was. But still, after like how many years, I don't exactly even remember. Like they have done this change like way long ago. Honestly, way long ago. Okay, Uganda. It's a buff. So they're buffing the main battery load time. Another nerf on Hyuga. Bro. 1.8 to 1.7 sigma value. They're nerfing the direct, like they're directly nerfing the premium battleship. Really? Man, I don't know. People who have spent money on Hyuga, watch out for your wallets, because this will 100% tell you that you should not spend in-game money in this game. Because whatever you have bought, now it does not relate to what it feels like before. Like right now, the parameters will definitely gonna be bad overall. Like 1.8 to 1.7 is not a big change, but still overall reduce the punchiness of the Hyuga, honestly, without a shadow of doubt. HSF Harikaze 2 getting a buff to the HE shell penetration. Now, HSF Harikaze 2 is a really good destroyer. Honestly, Harikaze was like literally like an Akizuki, but not having HE pen and having a Kagero detection. So you have 5.4 kilometer detection and still have very good DPM, and you still going to have HE penetration like 30 millimeter. Wow, bro, that is insanely good. I mean, I wish I would have a Harikaze 2, but I mean, someone should play Harikaze 2. Maybe a YouTuber will do it, and that would make Harikaze 2 a bit more interesting than ever before, honestly. Texas getting defensive air fire consumable. Wow. Defensive air fire. Is that going to change? I think it's going to change a lot. At tier 5, we have like tier 4 carriers. So against tier 4 carriers, Texas is going to be a lot much more stronger now, honestly. Continuous air damage is not like 100%. If it would be 100% continuous air damage, now that would be mind-blowing. That might would have made Texas to be pretty powerful as an anti-air defense platform. But still, it is a better thing that they are giving the defensive air fire consumable. Duplex. Main battery load booster duration increase 15 to 25 seconds, and Frigid, the recently released the cruiser, the Dutch cruiser, depth charges bomb increased. I don't think so that's gonna change much, but still better than nothing against, I would say, submarines. So these are the changes. I don't know if I'm gonna be really happy with these changes, although I'm really happy with the American light cruisers, the Soviet Tech 3 destroyers. Not sure about the Pan-American battleships, because I don't think so they have changed them much at all whatsoever. I don't know what's causing the fear of nerfing them. Like, what is the fear that if they nerf them too much? They can nerf them a bit, but they are not. I don't know why. They have nerfed some premiums, and they have buffed some premiums as well, including the Kremlin, which is a Tech 3 battleship. But yeah, these are the changes. What do you think about these changes? They are a bit too long, and I have talked about them a bit too longer. So yeah, sometimes you have to. But anyways, you can always let me know in the comments. And if you find this content good, or the changes to be useful, or anything related to them good, please let me know in the comments. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Till then, I will catch you back in the next video. Peace out.